Good morning. I hope you're off to a great start this morning. I wanted to ask you a question most people avoid. What standards do you walk past every day? What standards do you walk past every day? Because the truth is, to perform at a high level, you can't walk past basic standards. That's the truth. High performers don't walk past the little steps. They focus on those little steps, the little things to achieve greatness. And so there's standards that we all walk past. And so what standards are you walking past that is keeping you from reaching your greatness? That's the question I want to ask you. The truth is, we have to adapt. We have to adapt to change. We have to be ready for change. Our standards have to elevate, and we have to step towards those standards. That's the only way to make it happen for yourself, to reach the top of the mountain. So I ask you, the question I have to pose to you over and over again is, what standards do you walk past every day that are keeping you from reaching your greatness? That's it. You got to rise above those standards. Elite performers have a high standard, and they try to reach those standards every day. So if you're not making your bed first thing in the morning, if you're, walking around your house and not cleaning your house, these little things add up as a compounding effect. If you're running a business, or if you're an athlete and you're not doing the little things that make you great every day, those things start to compound. So the standards have to be high, and you have to reach for those standards. But it's all mindset. It's a mindset. It's an identity you're trying to achieve for yourself. You're growing yourself every day. You're building an identity. And those standards help you build that identity. So the question, one more time, what standards are you walking past every day in your life that are keeping you from reaching your highest potential? As a human being, we all forget to set our goals and have these standards, especially as things start to challenge us mentally and physically. So the standards that we create for ourselves, we have to try to live towards those standards, but you got to set those standards high. Some people don't have standards, some people don't have goals, some people don't have dreams, or if they did, they forgot those dreams because challenges in life have taken over. So in order to get there, the question, what standards are you walking past every day that are keeping you from reaching your greatness? Hi, I'm Gregg Washington. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to my live feed right now. We're talking about mental fortitude, courageous execution, and high standards. And in order to get to where we want to go in life, those three things have to be present in our life. High standards, mental focus, execution, and work ethic, belief in self. So how do we get there? How do we get there? What standards are you walking past every day that are keeping you from reaching your greatness? That's something that you have to address for yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I told myself I was going to do this, and I have to stick to that. That's the game plan today. If I'm an athlete and I said I got to go do some footwork today, I got to go do footwork today. I got to lift weights today. If I'm a business person and I'm leading a team, then I got to make sure that I rally my troops, motivate them, get them focused on what the dream is and what the goal is, and to move in one direction. I have to build good leadership around me in order to move my boat in the right direction. But I can't get there without having the right kind of standards and building the correct environment around me. But that starts with me, and that starts with you as a leader, as an athlete, as a business person, as a husband, a wife. Your standards have to be up here instead of down here, because living down here is mediocre. So, one more time, what standards are you walking past every day that's keeping you from reaching your greatness? That's it. order to get to where you want to go, you should write down the things that you're walking past every day, the things that you know that you should be doing. If I'm a business person, making phone calls, making those cold calls, sending my emails out, meeting with people, setting my appointments. If I'm an athlete, making sure that I don't miss the practices, make sure that I'm being a great leader and a great team person to my teammates and the team that I'm working for, like, my community. All that stuff has to be part of it. So the standard's high, your work ethic is right, your execution is right, you develop yourself here, because there's a lot of things mentally that we're missing. And because we're missing those things up there, we lower our standards because we don't understand how high our standards should be and where we should be setting our goals at. And then execution part of it is very key. Discipline, action. Every day a compounding effect, every day. Because the compounding effect, if you're not walking the right line and you're stepping over the standards, that compounding effect sets you back 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, depending on how long you do it, weeks, months, it'll set you back. But if you do it the right way, a compounding effect positive, that starts to grow, elevates you. Now you become something special. You become something more valuable to the people around you. You become something that you can give back because you're learning and you're growing. And you only do that because your standards have been high. So write down three standards that you've been walking past. Write down 3 standards that you've been walking past on a daily basis and correct those ASAP. If you do that, just that one step, that'll put you in the right place. That'll at least correct you in some form and fashion. Because you're at least looking internally and saying, you know what? I set these goals, I set these standards, but I have been living underneath those standards for a long time. And I don't know, it's because what other people think of me. I've set these standards and I'm letting other people crush my standards and my goals, or I'm around people that have a low standard and I'm just sinking into their boat, and that's the way I'm living my life. You can't do that. Can't do that. It's up here. Everybody has the capability to fixing this, raising their standards. That's what separates us as a human and different animal. We have the capability of thinking, communicating, growing, looking at our paradigms, fixing those paradigms, shifting things, changing, and being comfortable with change and executing at a high level. But if you're walking past standards, you don't have goals, you don't have things that you need to be addressing every day, I'm sorry to tell you. It's not going to work out for you. It's just not. That's not how life is. You might be blessed for just a second, but in order to really get to where you want to go, work ethic, mindset, setting standards, executing above those standards, elevating every day, and bringing people along with you. That's the way to do it. So, write down 3 standards that you're not going to negotiate any longer. You're going to fix those standards. Tomorrow, look at the other 3 standards that you've been negotiating with yourself. You're not going to tolerate those any longer. And then every day, execute at a high level. Be disciplined, be focused. Be disciplined, be focused. And understand your worth. Understand that you put it here to serve other people and that you need to lift them up with you. And in order to do that, you need to raise your standards so you can lift them up to the right place where you need to be and bring them along. Elevate your mindset. Work here mentally every day. Every day you should be priming your mindset for competition and then developing everything, your relationships, your business operations. If I'm an athlete, my skills, my mental focus. In relationship, I'm spending time with my significant other. I'm building her up and I'm pulling myself up, so the standards are always high. So whatever area in life you live in, standards high, execute at a high level, and don't negotiate with yourself. That's the bottom line. Become a mind athlete. I'll see you at the top of the mountain. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again at my next live feed. Bye-bye, Mind Athlete. Bye-bye.